Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome once again to my home recording studio. I'm coming to you from New Jersey. And today I would like to talk to you about compressors and how we use them and how they affect our sound. And we're going to show that quite graphically, as well as hopefully be able to hear it with our ears. So there's a lot of material I want to cover, so let me jump right into it. And I've got a relatively close-up of my compressor device that I'm going to be using, and I just want to show where the controls are, and you can see here's our input-output line, and right now it's 1-for-1. There's no change in compression, it's just a straight line. Our attack control is here, and it's showing about 8 milliseconds. Release control is here, and that's showing 70 milliseconds. Over here we can see threshold and ratio. We have our 1-to-1 curve of 1-to-1, so there's zero compression. So what I've chosen is I've imported a drum track, and what we'll do is we will alter the sound of the drum each time we hear it, and we'll make some kind of changes with our compressor, and we'll see how that affects not only the sound, but let me see if I back out a little bit here. 1, 2. We will actually have clip meters that we're going to be able to see. And right now, of course, you can't see it because it's not lit, but it's right in here. There's a little clip meter, and also right down in here. So let me show you what I have. Let me back out a little bit so you can see more of the whole picture, because you want to see the oscilloscope. And the top here is the import tracks, and this is my oscilloscope, and here's our compressor. And again, once we've backed out, you don't see details, so you kind of gotta go with it with these webcams. So let's listen to the tune, to the drum track. We'll go around once, and we'll take a clip, notice of clipping, and see what we have. Here it comes. Okay, that's our little drum track. Now if we look here, I know you can't see that, but that's the number 7. We've clipped 7 times in that little episode. So let's get started with some compression. And first thing we want to do is go from a 1-to-1 compression. Let's bring it to a 4-to-1. I can do that a couple of ways. I have my control knob here, but if I just grab a hold of this line right at the top and start dragging it down, just like I'm doing, and right there is 4-to-1. So now let's, and by the way, that first time around we clipped 7 times. We'll keep a track of this. Now we're going to listen to it again. We're going to see a difference in our oscilloscope, and we should hear a difference. Whether or not you can with this microphone is to be seen, but let's give it a shot. We're going to go around again. Now we came around the second time, and we have 0 on the clip meter. That stayed in the green. So now let's play around with so I'm going to put 0. So now let's use the same amount of compression, and let's alter our attack time. We started at 8 milliseconds. Let's go to like almost instantaneous. Let's see what that does. Okay, so that's 0, and let's listen to it again. Clear our clip meter and go. Notice the oscilloscope, how we're not climbing up and down on it whatsoever. We're staying in a very narrow band. You can see that very graphically with the oscilloscope. And once again, the clip meter is at 0. Now I want to change the attack time to maximum. And let's bring attack as far up as it'll go on this dial, which happens to be 400 milliseconds. And let's listen to it. Well, that was pretty much about the same as the original. That came in with 7 clipped markings. So now let's bring the attack time back to what we would consider kind of normal, about 7 or 8 milliseconds. And now let's play around with our release time. Clear the clip meter, and we're going to bring release to as short an amount of time as possible. And that's just a millisecond, just about instantaneous. And let's see the difference now, and see how it affects our scope. Well, we came through it and we didn't have any clipping marks whatsoever. And it stayed, as you could see, relatively in a pretty tight band. So let's go the other extreme. Let's bring now the release time to its maximum allotment that they'll let me do. And that's a whopping 2 seconds. Boy, in this business, that seems like an endless eternity. And let's see how that affects our sound. Wow, it's really quieted it down. It's really quieted down that shape. So I hope that gives a little bit of an explanation from an auditory point of view, because I don't know how much you could hear that as much as I can sitting between the stereo. Hopefully you could get some of that, but to look at it graphically, I think really a picture is 1,000 words, and hopefully you got a few of those words coming your way. There's more things I would have done, but we're just kind of out of time. They try to keep you to a limit. So maybe at another time we'll get into some more depth, because there's things I wanted to show with filters, high and low pass filters, but we'll have to save that for another time. You people keep recording, making music. It's all part of life. Thanks for listening. See you again sometime soon. Bye now.